Hello again from my front porch, actually the Dallas edition. In fact, I have the statue behind us here, the spirit of Dallas. See this nice winged horse, a Pegasus, I guess it would be, right? Isn't that what they call it? But I'm here with my really great friend, Greg Ambroson. Greg and I, and his wife Rose, back up in Alleman, Iowa, a few years ago. A couple of years ago, we used to actually all enjoy singing at church and stuff, and we joked for a while that we were all going to get a bus. We were going to tour together on a bus. We never did get our bus. No.
And now we're too old for a bus.
Now we're too old for a bus. Now it would definitely have to be like a deluxe lounging thing
with a driver.
With a driver, yeah. but I'm here with Greg because I'm down here in Dallas, Texas. Was down here for work stuff, and of course Greg and Rose live here in the Dallas area, and so I wanted to connect with Greg while I was here, and we just had a really delicious breakfast. Thank you. Took me to the of course when you're in Dallas, Texas, you go to a Canadian breakfast place. It makes total sense.
It was close.
Yeah, but the Maple Leaf Diner, it was good too. And I tell you, you walk in and immediately it smells like Canada or maple syrup. But it was good. But over breakfast, we were having a really great conversation, and I said, you know what? This would be a really good episode for me to do for the front porch stuff. Because what Greg is doing here now, last time I was down here, many years ago, you were pastoring a church at the time.
Staff at a church.
But since then, and within the last 5 years or so, you've shifted into being involved with
Adult and Teen Challenge. Of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We're part of Teen Challenge USA, and centers all across the country and around the world. And so we're Teen Challenge Texas, and we've got 10 centers, I believe, right now in Texas, and in the process of opening up a couple of new ones as well.
So now, because I'm familiar with Teen Challenge. Well, I mean, first of all, growing up, we heard all about it. Teen Challenge of the Midlands, which is there's based in Colfax, and then there's over in Omaha, and all this activity and a lot of stuff. So I'm very familiar with it, but for somebody watching who may not even be as familiar with Teen Challenge, give us a little summary of what is Teen Challenge? Where does it come from?
So they added adult to the name some years ago, so it's Adult and Teen Challenge, but most people still just refer to it as Teen Challenge. And the reason being is because it started out as a ministry by Dave Wilkerson, decades ago, over 60 years ago, to minister to teenagers. There's
the famous movie that some may have seen. I think
Switchblade.
Pat Boone is in it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, where he plays Dave Wilkerson. Yeah. That dates it, how old it was, but yeah. So the Cross and the Switchblade is kind of that history that you're talking about.
Absolutely. And worked at the goal was to help get people off the streets, young people that struggling with gang violence, life controlling issues. Mainly drug and alcohol addiction, and so Teen Challenge was birthed out of that, and now there's 2,000 plus centers worldwide.
Wow.
And here in Texas, there's we've got again Teen Challenge of Texas, and so we have centers that minister to adolescent girls as well as minister to adolescent boys, different centers, as well as men, women with children, and things of that sort. And so I'm actually the director of one of the centers and part of Teen Challenge of Texas, and we have a center here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So.
Wow. So now we were talking about also not just the good work that Teen Challenge does of helping people through difficult life situations, especially addiction related things, but other just general, they've run into the end of their rope in life.
Absolutely.
And they just need someone to take them by the hand and help guide them into a better life.
Yep.
And Teen Challenge is also a faith-based program too.
Absolutely, faith-based. It's actually a discipleship program.
Yep.
And so we help people deal with the life-controlling issues, obviously to help them to gain a foothold in life and to be able to really experience life to its fullest, really.
And you have a Teen Challenge, or is it now Adult and Teen Challenge?
Adult and Teen
I should probably say it correctly, Adult and Teen Challenge. Overall, it has a phenomenal success rate.
Absolutely. We just had a national study just in 2019 that nearly 80%, 78 point some, but 78% of the people that complete the year-long program don't go back to their stuff, to their mess.
That's incredible, because again, the reason that they come to the program or be in the program is to overcome whatever that issue is. And so the fact that nearly 80% of those who do that don't have any issue with it, that's huge praise for them.
Well, I don't know that they don't have any issue, but they don't go back to their mess anyway.
We all have issues. Everybody still has issues. But yeah, the thing that brought them to the doorstep,
right?
That they're able to overcome that. That's
and we deal with any kind of life controlling issue actually, just because they're all sort of interrelated. I mean, we, obviously the main thing, drugs and alcohol, but sex addictions obviously come into play a lot of times with that. As well as we've even had gambling and gaming addictions.
Oh, really?
So, absolutely.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but gaming addiction would be a thing now, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Folks wearing diapers and not getting out of their seat for
that's
hours and hours.
That's sad, but I guess I can see that. But the thing that we talked about this morning too that really caught my attention was where everybody is talking about the impact of COVID-19 on our society right now. We've seen the economic impact, or we're starting to see. I think we're a long way from really seeing the full economic impact. But then there's talk about the emotional impacts, the psychological impacts, all of those kind of things. So what you said that you're starting to see some of that with Adult Teen Challenge.
So already we're just seeing we're starting to to screen more calls on a regular basis, about double where we were going into COVID-19. Actually, just yesterday was honored to be part of a call with Senator Roy Blunt, of U.S. Senator from Missouri. Sorry,
can't take the Iowan out of him.
From Missouri, that it's just looking at obviously there's an impact, mental health, obviously a huge player in that, and frequently what is confused for mental health it's kind of the cart ahead of the horse. What came first, the addiction or the mental health issue? And
okay, sorry, we had to interrupt there because somebody felt the need to call me right in the middle of the interview, and normally I put my phone in airplane mode. I forgot to this time. Sorry, Greg. You were on such a roll too.
Yeah. So
all right. So let's see if we can pick it up and where we can go again.
Yeah. So we sat in. We got to talk with Senator Blunt yesterday from Missouri, and it was a very interesting call. But just recognizing the fact that there's an increase that's taking place because of mental health issues and people becoming depressed, and of course suicide is on the rise, and we're fielding probably double the amount of calls that we did before COVID, and then really trying to come up with ways to creatively fund what it is we do, because we take people who they don't have insurance, they're on their last leg, really, so to speak.
They're not showing up to pay the bill themselves for being there.
Yeah, family members sometimes they're done. They've done everything that they can do, and so they just don't know what to do, and so they'll turn to us, and God in his sovereignty really meets men at Teen Challenge, and they come out a different individual, and they were created to be men of integrity and men of honor, and women and children as well, and so just learning how to be what they're called to be, as opposed to just feeling like a failure and not being able to pick themselves up. We all need somebody.
All the things that Adult and Teen Challenge would do for anybody at any time is now then even more so important. It's become, not more so, but it's become significantly more important to those who are impacted by COVID-19, because
Absolutely.
suddenly those individuals who may not have ever felt they would need such a service find themselves in that situation.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at people, what we're seeing is that some of them maybe they were a little down on their luck and things weren't quite going right, but yet they were surviving, and then they lost their job because of COVID. So now they're living out of their car, or they've lost their car because of it, or whatever. And I know that the government put some things in place where they're not supposed to lose their car or lose their house or whatever supposedly, but yet it hasn't always worked that way with everybody. And so for whatever the reason, they become depressed or whatever, and turning more towards addiction. Maybe they were already mildly addicted, and now it's just become worse. That they've just come to the bottom of their rope, and so. And like I said earlier, really it doesn't even honestly matter whether the addiction came first or the mental illness came first. I think usually it's
they
the
get
addiction,
connected.
but they're connected and they're interrelated. And but what we find is that if we can get them in there and they can be at Teen Challenge, they can be in a place where there's peace, where they're not having to worry about the stresses of the world right now, and give them a brotherhood to cling to. Change happens. Change happens.
Well, and again, with the 80% success rate, that's promising for those who now find themselves at the end of the rope in those situations too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
all right. So and then here's the big question, Greg. If somebody needs to get a hold of you at Teen Challenge, at Adult or Teen Challenge, how do they get a hold of you?
So you can go to our website, tctexas.org, or just give us a call, 817-406-4441. Again, it's 817-406-4441. For a lot of my Iowa friends, call Teen Challenge of the Midlands. They're in Colfax or in Omaha, and the Huntsburgers will get you set up there as well. Great program. There isn't a Teen Challenge that isn't good. Honestly, they're all great.
And if you just go out and Google Teen Challenge, wherever you're at in the world, apparently,
Absolutely.
then you can find where how to get a hold of ones near you.
Amen.
All right. Well, thank you, Greg. It's always a pleasure getting to see you. I don't make it down to Dallas enough, but maybe I'll try to make it down more often. It's because I think last time I was here was 2008.
Yep.
So that's been a little while. All right.
That's good.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
You too, man.
All right.
Good to be here.
Take care, and I'll see you all next time from my front porch.